This conference will now be recorded.
Vinupriya, I know you're back. I've seen your name. You said you wanted to take a vacation or something with your husband or somebody. Okay. So yeah, what were we discussing in the last class, guys? So we were creating some test cases, right? So only a few people have submitted the assignments. Okay. I've reviewed and it was pretty good. Okay. But one thing you need to make sure is for every requirement there is a test case, guys. You're writing a test case for every requirement. You're writing a test case. Hang on, guys, 1 second. Mahesh, class ఉంది కదా వచ్చాను. Okay, bye. Okay, మహేష్ ఒకవేళ వీలుంటే టీ తీసుకురమ్మా, హెడేక్ గా ఉంది. ఏమనుకో కదా. Sorry guys. So one of my employees just passing by and then he stopped by to see who is there in the office. Then I gave him the work. You might be thinking that, oh my god, why did I even stepped into the office? Okay, so now, okay, so in the last class we have seen how we can write the test cases. Okay, how we can write the test cases. By the way, you can unmute yourself and speak and then mute it, guys. I'm totally fine with that. Sometimes what happens is you're unmuting and then not muting it. Because of this, there is a lot of background noise. But I wish you also talk and I also talk, so that it is not like a class but more like a discussion. So you're also not feeling like a class and I'm also not feeling like a class. Okay, so I wish that happens. Okay, and anybody can speak anything. It's okay. I mean, it's not like it's not a college or a university or something like that. Okay, so guys can speak. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so so we have seen how we can write the test cases, but sometimes what happens is sometimes the testers or QA guys, or however you wanted to guy, or however you wanted to call, okay, these testers will find a difficulty, okay, find a difficulty in writing test cases. Okay, so in what situations they find it difficulty, sir? Okay, I'll 100% discuss about it, in what kind of situations, okay, they will find it difficult. Okay, but okay, before going there, okay, before going there, okay, whenever they feel some sort of difficulty, they can use, okay, they can use the testers they can use, okay, test design techniques. Okay, test design techniques. Again, if there is any spelling mistake, please ignore it. Okay, if then the testers can 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 use this test design techniques, and and get rid of that difficulty that they are facing. Okay, if in case, I'm saying, in case if there is a difficulty, okay, in case there is a difficulty, they can make use of this test design techniques which the people have come out with, so that it can be taken care of. Okay, sir, what difficulties are, in which case these difficulties will be there? I'll come to that. Okay, any questions? Please speak up, guys. Please speak up, please be active. Okay, already the class strength is less, and if nobody is speaking now, I'll feel bored and then lost. Okay, so are we okay so far? I know I haven't explained much. Okay, but what I'm saying is, okay, in Hindi I'll repeat it. Okay, आपको कोई दिक्कत हो रहा है टेस्ट केसेस लिखने में, okay, तो कोई people have come out with this something called test design techniques. वो design techniques हम लेके, okay, वो दिक्कत को हम दूर करेंगे, टेस्ट केसेस लिख लेंगे. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, so okay, so एक example देओ ना sir, like where you will have a difficulty. Okay, so where you will have a difficulty, I'm just thinking about it, where people feel difficult. Okay, where people will feel difficult. Okay, I can think of one example. Okay, you're doing a registration somewhere. Okay, somewhere there is a says that the age should be greater than 10 years, okay, and less than 60 years. Let's say, I don't know for what registration, maybe for some government job. I'm thinking government job. Okay, for government job you're applying, as a part of the application form, forget about registration, we'll call it as application form for a government job, application form for a government job. Okay, so age should be greater than 10 years. Age should be greater than 10 years. And government jobs, most of the government jobs in India, the age should be less than how much? Any idea, guys? Any idea? Definitely it is not 60.
18, sir.
Eligibility 50?
58, sir.
16, above
50?
16.
Above 16, huh? Okay, above 16. Okay, above 16 and less than 50. Okay, so somebody is saying 50 and all that. Okay, let's go with 50. So now you are testing this particular application form. Okay, this is an online form, online application form, online application form. Okay, you are testing it. Then you got the doubt. Okay, you're testing this particular, okay, particular requirement. Okay, so obviously requirement, you come out with a test case. What do you first thing you will do? You will come out with the test case. Okay, then at some point of time you will execute it. Okay, you will execute it. Okay, so this test case that you are trying to come out with, how should I test it, sir? Okay, so greater than 16 means 17, 18, 19, 20. I have to put all the ages from 17 to 49. What do you think, guys? I have to test it with all the ages from 17 to 49 and say that, okay, this application form is working fine. You know, it is accepting the ages between 17 and 16 and 50. So that kind of difficulty I have now. What is the difficulty? I have to test each and every age, which means that, okay, I have to test this particular requirement for probably how many times? 35 times or something like that, 34 times, which is such a pain in the neck. So I'm facing the difficulty. How can I test for each and every age? Very, very difficult. Okay. Don't you think so, guys? Just for one requirement, you have to run the test case for what, 35 times, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, all the way till 49. For each age you will put and test. So that's a pain in the neck. So what do you think, guys? Do we need to test it? Okay, so what, 16, 17, 18, 19, so probably like what, 32 times. So do we need to test the 32 times? One is yes, two is no.
No, not required. We
Not required,
can
right?
check above the condition, like we can check below 16 years and above 15 years also we can check it, and the range we need to, based on the range we need to check.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I have a difficulty now. I need not have to test. I have to test it 33 times, which is such a pain in the neck. So I'll make use of this test case design techniques. Sorry, test design techniques. Again, 100% interview question, guys. 100% interview question. The first technique that I will use is boundary value analysis. Okay, what is that? Boundary value analysis. Okay, and by the way, okay, after this class, try to do maximum research on this, try to get maximum use cases and practice it, because in the interviews they will ask, 100% they will ask, in the interviews 100% they will ask. Okay, so boundary value analysis. As per the boundary value analysis, you will test what is there in the boundaries. You will test what is there in the boundaries. Okay, so let me use the paint here. Okay, okay, so let me write it down here. Okay, so this is the age, this is the age. Okay, age, this is the age. Okay, so this is the age. So you have 16 number here. Okay, and then you have 50 years here. Okay, so 16 here. Okay, and 50 years. Okay, so what you will test, what is the boundaries for 16? Boundaries is what? Okay, boundaries is what? 15, 16, 17. ఏ షాప్ లేదా? అది క్లోజే ఉంటుంది. ఇక్కడ ఏం లేవరా? ఇక్కడ ముందుగానే రోడ్ మీద ఏమన్నా ఉండే పైసలు ఇస్తాం. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ రోడ్ మీద ఉండే తీసుకురమ్మా. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ. So now this boundary value analysis means we have to test it around the boundaries. So we will test it with 15, test it with 15. Okay, we'll test it with 16, we'll test it with 17. Okay, so we'll test one less, equal and greater than. Okay, so you see, this is the left boundary. Let's call this as a lower boundary, upper boundary. So this is the lower boundary. What is the lower boundary? 16 is the lower boundary. So what you will do, lower boundary minus 1, lower boundary minus 1. Okay, and then lower boundary plus 1, lower boundary plus 1. Okay, so this is what you will test. So you will test it with 15, you will test it with 16, you will test it with 17. Okay, similarly, this is the upper boundary, right? This is the upper boundary, right? Okay, this is the upper boundary. So with what values you will test it here, guys? I want to hear from all of you. With what values you will
49,
test it here?
49 and 51. 49
Okay,
and 51.
perfect. 49.
49,
Okay,
50, 51.
49 and 51. Okay, 51.
Plus one,
Okay,
minus one.
yeah, UB plus 1 and UB minus 1. Upper boundary minus 1 and upper boundary plus 1. Okay, upper boundary plus 1. Okay, so you test it with only 6 values. Okay, not with 36 values. You will not test with 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, all the way till 50, 51, 52. And here also lower boundary also you need to test. So you need not have to test with all the 100 values or 50 values or 60 values. You test it with only 3 values. Okay, so if you test it with 15, what should happen? What should happen? Should it allow the registration? Look at the
No.
requirement carefully. The age should be greater than 16 and less than 50. So it should not allow. Maybe there is an error message which shows that you are not eligible for this job. Some sort of a message it will show up. Okay, you can talk to the business analyst and they will tell you what is the exact error message. So this will become a negative test case. With the 16, should it allow or should it not allow?
No, no, sir, it will
Should
not
not
allow.
allow. Should
Because
not
Should be
here
allow.
this
more than
says
16.
more than 16. It is not saying greater than or equal to 16. It is saying 16, so it will not allow. And 17, it is a positive test case and it will allow. So similarly, with 49, will it allow?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. 49, yes, sir, it will
Yes,
allow.
sir.
49, yes. Okay, that's tricky. Yeah, I know. With 50, it should not allow, and 51, it should not allow.
Should
Okay,
not allow.
so
Sir,
if you
50
check,
allow na.
it says
No,
less
no,
than 50.
less than 15, it will not allow.
Okay, it is
Okay,
not less than or equal to 50. It is less than 50. Okay,
okay,
so
Then
okay,
the test
okay.
data may be like 48, 49, 50.
yeah. So this is what is. So you test it with only these 6 values and you write the test cases accordingly. And then you use this technique called boundary values, BVP, boundary value analysis, BVA, sorry, not BVP, BVA, boundary value analysis. Okay. Are we clear, guys? Are we clear? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So you can use these techniques. Okay, boundary value. Along with that, sometimes we do the combination of ECP with BVA and ECP. Next thing is equivalence class partitioning. Okay, so next thing is equal. First is what? BVA, boundary value analysis. Okay, so did I write that? Okay, not written. No? Okay, boundary value analysis, BVA, not BVP. Sorry, somebody please fix this. Whenever I do some mistakes like this, please fix it, guys. Okay, please feel free to unmute yourself and say that sir ये BVA है, not BVP. Okay, क्योंकि मेरा थोड़ा बुखार चल रहा है तो sometimes what happens is I might do a mistake. Okay, so and kabhi I mean sometimes what happens is like I get excited and then I concentrate more on explaining the things and what kind of examples I have to give and all that, and I forget to put the right things on the screen. Okay, equivalence class partition. Okay, somebody said something. Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah, sir, can we test it in a single case or there are different cases for this?
So generally what happens is, okay, it's a good question. Who asked this question?
Siley.
Sally. Okay, Sally. So I'll tell you, Sally. Let's say we have put all this in one single test case. Let's assume, Sally. Okay, you have put all these 6 into one single test case. क्या होता है कि, okay, so with 15 it is not supposed to allow. 16 it is not supposed to allow. 17 is allowing. Okay, it is supposed to allow. But whatever happens, okay, you have started testing it. You started testing it, Sally. With 17 the application form should be successful. It is successful. With 15 the application form should not allow you to fill the application form. It didn't allow. Your test case has passed. With 17 it is supposed to allow you to complete the application form. It has completed and your test case passed. With 16 it is not supposed to allow, right? Because it is greater than 16, so it is not supposed to allow the complete registration process, but somehow it is allowed. Somehow it is allowed. What happened now? Sal, what happened? I'm just asking.
It will fail na in 60.
Test case is failed. Okay, test
Ye-
case is failed, and you have to raise a defect or not, Sally?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to raise the defect. अभी देखो क्या होता है कि ये पास हो गया, ये पास हो गया, ये अकेला फेल हो गया, पूरा टेस्ट केस फेल करना पड़ेगा अभी. समझ रहे हो बात?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, it's totally up to you how you want to handle that. You wanted to put them into 3 different test cases, which is a dog work, I would say. Okay, I mean, you have to write the whole thing, right? You know, I've given you template, right? So much
Mm.
stuff you have to write it down for each test case. Okay, so you wanted to write that into one single test case. Yes, I'm happy. Okay, I would do that. Thank you. Okay,
Okay.
so but if you want to be more specific, break it down into 3 so that if something is passed, you mark it as passed. Something is spaced, you can mark it as fail. Okay, I would prefer. I don't like writing too much, so I used to put them into one single test case. Nobody. I mean, if lead is reviewing and he's keen about all this, then you work accordingly to him and you write the test cases. But if nobody is watching, you decrease your work is what I would say. Okay, ideally what should happen, I don't think ideally there is anything to it. Okay, nobody has said anything ideally what should happen. Okay, but again, you know, there is a challenge. If 2 things have passed and 1 thing has failed, then you have to fail the entire test case. Later on, after 15 days you are testing it, you might not remember because you will be writing thousands of test cases. Okay, and you wouldn't have remember what has happened, so you will go back, have to test with all the values. Here 15, 16, 17 is very easy, you can test it quickly, but there will be other challenges in some other test cases, so it becomes challenging. So to test with all the 3 values again. Okay, but anyways, okay, I would put them into one single test case. I've given you the reasoning, so it's up to you, but my choice is I'll put all the 3 into one single test case, or all the 6 into one single test case.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, logically whatever I've said makes sense to you, na Sally? That's what is more important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so abhi equivalence partitioning, what is that equivalent partitioning? Okay, so so again, everybody understands Hindi here. Sometimes I'm using Hindi because I'm taking another corporate training, and there if the trainings are for Pune and everybody speaks Hindi, so Hindi is coming out. So everybody understands Hindi here. I'm just asking, people from outside countries also there.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
I
Yes.
properly understand.
You speak fluent Hindi. Okay. Israel
Yes.
says she doesn't. Israel says she doesn't know Hindi. So yeah, Israel, please put up with me. I'll repeat in English and Hindi as well. Okay. Both of with both the languages, but in sometimes Hindi comes out. Okay. Don't feel left out. Okay. Don't feel like this class is not for me. Okay. You have been coming regularly. You're putting a lot of hard work. Okay. These are the important things. Please come and learn, and then you might get the job. Again, I really pray to God that everybody in the class get the job, because you are my students. Okay. You don't know, I mean, you consider me as my mentor, or your mentor or teacher or not, but I really consider, and I really want all of you to get the job. That's one thing I really want. uh, but anyways, okay, so equivalence partitioning. Okay, so equivalence class partitioning, first you divide this into 3 classes. Okay, this is one class. Okay, so okay, let me delete all of this, or draw complete, or draw completely new here. Okay. Okay, so yeah, same thing. Okay, then you have uh 16, 50. Okay, so there is a homework which I will be giving it today, and I expect most of you to do the homework and come back. Okay, so this is one partition. Okay, so this is one class. Okay, let me change the color, hang on. Okay, this is one class. No, I like blue, so let me take blue. Okay, so this is one class starting from 16 all the till 50, and then this is another class. Okay. Oh, this is another class, okay, and then this is another class. Okay, so you have 3 classes. Take one value from each of those classes. Class 1, take one value, probably I'll take 10, okay, probably I'll take 10. Okay, take one value from this class, which is probably I'll take 25. Take one value from this class, probably I'll take 99. Okay, and test it with these 3 values. So generally people do BVA plus ECP for range of values. Okay, if you're asking me, Kumar sir, like, which one should I implement, BVA or ECP? Okay, you have to implement both of them. Okay, okay, so you implement both of them, BVA and ECP. Okay, equivalent class partitioning. Okay, you test it with, why, hang on one second. Okay, so this class I'll take 10, as I've told you. This class I'll take 25. Okay, and this class I'll take probably 70. Okay, so for the range of values, you do both BVA and ECP, both BVA and ECP. Okay, and then probably you'll have to test it with 3 values plus 3 more. Overall 9 values you would have to test it with. Probably write one test case for this one and write one test case for this one, or you spread it across and write multiple test cases, is fine. Okay, but okay, before I give the assignment, everybody understood this ECP as well, equivalence class partitioning. So divide that into multiple classes, class 1, 2, 3. Take one value from each class and do the testing. Take one value from each class and do the testing. Okay, are we clear, all of you guys? Are we clear, all of you? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Everybody in the class? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Perfect, superb. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
now,
हेलो
yeah,
सर, यस सर, ये वैल्यू इज अ रैंडम ही या फिर कुछ इसका वो रहता है, मतलब जैसे हमने 10 एंड 25 एंड 17 लिया है, इट्स अ रैंडम नंबर या फिर पार्टीशन?
randomly. I have taken it
ओके
randomly. Anything less than, take any value in this class. Okay, I don't care.
ओके
10 लेते हो, 11 लेते हो, 9 लेते हो, 1 लेते हो, आपका मर्जी है. Okay,
ओके
take one
ओके
value between in this class. Whether you want to take 20, 25, 30, 40, आपका मर्जी है. And take one value in this class, maybe 60, 70, 80, 90, 99, जो भी है. Okay, so people will not
ओके
believe after 100, 101, but I'm just saying this is the age related. Okay, so this is how
ओके
you can.
सर,
Perfect, na?
यस सर.
Okay, so come out with different use cases before tomorrow's class, guys. Okay, please send out, Vinupriya is sending out the assignments to me on WhatsApp. I would want everybody to send the assignments. I've given you the use case of age. Okay, similarly come out with the use cases as where we can implement the BVA and ECP, because that's the interview question they will ask you. Okay, in your, where did you implement it in your last project, or in any of your projects have you implemented this test design techniques? If so, please tell me which text design technique you have implemented and which case, which use case, or where you have used it. Okay, this kind of questions people ask, guys. Okay, be ready for that question. Okay, again I'm repeating. Okay, they will definitely ask you. Okay, in any of your last projects have you implemented any of the test case design techniques? Okay, if so, what? Okay, and where? Give me a situation where you have used it. Okay, 100% interview question. I would not take any manual testing interview without this question, because this is expected. People are expected to know this. So you come out with the use cases. If you worked on different institutes, I'm okay. Come out with the use cases of different institutes, or you pulled it out from the internet, I'm okay. I don't care where you get it from, but try to get it from. Okay, okay. So guys,
Okay.
can we continue? Can we go to the next section?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
wonderful, superb. Okay, superb. Okay, so let's go back. We were deviated a little bit. Let's look at what we were looking at, staffing and training. Okay, recap. Okay, so this is the test cases, na? Okay, test planning. Okay, so if you remember, we were discussing about the testing life cycle. Okay, the software testing life cycle. So test planning phase, we have looked into it. The test plan we have created. Test design and development, the test cases that we have written. So we have completed it. Okay, so there are still 4 more sections. Okay, so test planning, we have spent ample amount of time to go through each and every section. Okay, test design and development, we have spent ample amount of time over here. We have built a use case, we have acted like a business analyst. Based on the use case, we have written the test cases. Okay, so we have done that. Now test execution is very, very simple, guys. So we have done this, we have spent probably 2 days 3 days explaining this. So we have done this, probably spent 2 days 3 days explaining this. Okay, now the test execution. Okay, the test execution is simple. I've been talking about, you write the test cases and you execute the test cases. You have already written the test cases and you execute whatever is there in the test cases. Should I showcase it to you, or is it meant because in one of the classes I've already showcased it to you, but if you still want to showcase it to you, please let me know. Or it is understood for all of you, I'm asking.
May I know the how to start to write test case name, like for example for the same for the registration form as criteria, how to start?
Who is this? Tulsiram. Have you been attending all the classes, Tulsiram?
I for 1 week I'm unable to attend for last 1 week before
Ah,
the time.
so we have written all the test cases, brother. Please watch the videos, because it takes a lot of efforts to do that. Okay, if there is something that I've said you have attended, I am not understood, then definitely I'm ready to repeat it. But if you have not attended, watch the video. Okay, definitely it's not too difficult. Watch the video, start writing the test cases. If you find it difficulty, then come back to me. I'll write the test cases for you. Okay, first watch the video of what we have written. Okay, and still you are not able to write it, I'm 100% there to help you. Okay, because all the other 18 students have to re-listen to everything that that they have heard before. Okay, and it's not difficult, it's actually easy peasy simple. Okay, um, so this execution, guys, should I show it to you? I want to hear from all of you. Okay, should I show it to you,
No,
or
sir.
it's okay? No, right? Test
Yes, sir.
execution.
No, sir.
No,
No.
no. Okay, but quickly,
Yes.
if you want me to do it, okay, there should be something like, okay, enter the correct username and incorrect password. Okay, the login page is available. Enter the correct username and username password. The test data is already here. We have put it. Okay, and this is the error message that we got, that we are supposed to get. Okay, give me some application which has the username password, guys. Let's go with the Gmail. Okay, let's go with the Gmail. Okay, hang on. Okay, so let's assume it's a Gmail application, because whatever the application that we have written the test cases, it's a dummy application. Okay, we didn't had the actual application. Okay, okay. Oh, username password, it is not asking. First it is asking for username, then password. Give me one yeah, LinkedIn. Yeah, it is asking for username and password. Okay, so the valid username kgupta.testing training is a valid username. Okay, or else whatever is there here, we will have to type it. Okay, so we will have to type it. Sorry. Okay, so you see here. Okay, so enter the correct username. Okay, GAK Gupta is the correct username. Okay, we'll enter that, GAK Gupta. Okay, and the password is incorrect password. Okay, Isha123. Again, you really don't care what is correct username, what is incorrect username, because the person who has written the test cases, he is supposed to take care of that. Okay, while entering the test data, for him, he needs to make sure that he has to enter the correct username and incorrect password. You see, correct username and incorrect password. From you, when you're executing the test cases, you really don't worry about whether it is correct or incorrect or whatever it is. Whatever is there over here, you will type it here. Okay, GAK Gupta, and password is Isha123. ISHA123. Okay, let's say the correct username is gakgupta@gmail.com. Okay, gakgupta@gmail.com. Okay, while writing the test case itself, the person has written it like this, let's assume. Okay, so okay, so you have entered the correct username, which is GAK Gupta, and incorrect password Isha123. Okay, so you agree and join. Click on login button. Okay, why it is saying agree and join? Okay, because it's a different application, guys. Okay, but I'm just showing you. Okay, so you enter whatever is there over here. Okay, you try to enter into that application. This use case is for some sample dummy application that we thought about, if you remember. Okay, the login page, whatever we have discussed. So we are trying to implement it in LinkedIn. It will not work. Okay, but what you do is whatever is there in the test case, you try to enter that and see if the expected value is as per the actual value. The expected value is as per the actual value. Okay, so should I actually execute it and showcase it to you guys, or is it understood? I'm just trying to understand. If so, I will write the test case for some application and I'll try to showcase it to you. First, I'll write a
No
test case and
required,
then
sir.
execute it. Should I execute one test case, all of you?
No, not required, sir.
Not required, na? Okay, so you
No,
understand. I'm asking all the 18 people again. If you want me to execute, I'll execute. Okay, Subramaniam says yes. Okay, Swati says yes. Okay, so execute. Let's do it. Not a big deal, guys. So let's write a test case. Okay, I'll write a test case because these test cases are for some application that we don't even have. Okay, we took some screenshot. From the screenshot we were writing the test cases, if you remember. Okay. Okay, we'll write the test case. Not a big deal. Hang on, guys. Yeah, for this application, we were writing the test cases, if you remember. This is not even a real application, but let me write a test case for a real application and then quickly execute it as well. Okay, just give me one moment, guys. This is a dummy application that I usually use for performance testing. Okay, we'll write the test cases for that. But for that, let me try to understand the behavior of it. Okay. Okay, so let me go back. Okay, let me write the test case. Let's say, let me log out. Okay, so first let's write the test case for this. But obviously you don't write the test case by browsing the application. You will write the test cases from the requirements, not by watching the application. Okay, so let's assume the requirements were given and you're writing the test cases for this Isha Training Solutions.com. Okay, let's quickly write the test case for that. Okay, so okay, so let's write the test case for that. Let's assume the test case name is TC018. Okay, and the requirement, let's say the requirement ID for this is, let's say 4.3.1. Okay, and who has written the test case? Let's say Swati has written the test case for this. And let's look at the positive flow. Okay, positive test case. We'll write the positive test case. Okay, we'll write the positive test case. Okay, where will we write this from? We'll write this from the sorry, we will write it by looking at the requirements. Okay, the business requirements. Home page is available. Home page, or whatever you call that page as. Okay, the starting page, home page, or login page, however you want to call it. Okay, test steps. Okay, enter the username. Okay, enter the username, then enter the password. Okay, then click what, then what happens? Click hang on. Okay, click sign in. Okay, click sign in. Okay, then enter the correct answer for the question. Okay, so okay, enter the correct answer for the question. Okay, uh, usually you don't say enter the correct answer. Okay, because I don't know the exactly what kind of questions are being asked. Okay, so yeah, we'll say this. Okay, okay, as per the below, as per the below. table or below points, as per the below bullet points. Okay, bullet points. Okay, now the test data is Isha. Okay, username is what? Username is what? Hang on. Okay, Isha Training Solution is the valid username. Okay, and password is also same. Password is also same. Okay, the expected value is admin page or launch page, whatever you call it, admin page or home page is displayed. Home page is displayed. Okay, home page is displayed. Okay, so now you see this is the test case that you have written, not by looking at the application, guys, not by looking at the application, but by understanding the requirements. By understanding the requirements, from there you write the test cases. After a month or so, the application will be ready, and that is where you are executing. Let's say you're executing this test case. Who has written it? Swati has written it. Who is executing it? Let's say our Syed is executing this. Okay, our Syed is executing it. Swati has written it and Syed is executing. What is the prerequisite? Home page is available. So yes, you have launched the home page. You have launched the home page. Wonderful. Okay, you have launched the home page. You are executing this test case, guys. Which test case? TC018. Okay, first is launch. Home page is available. Yes, home page is available. Then what you are saying? Okay, enter the username. Okay, enter the password. What username is there? Isha Training Solutions dot Isha Training Solution. Okay, that is the username. Okay, and then what is the password? Enter the password. What is the password? Isha Training Solution. Okay, then what you are asking to do, click on sign in. Why you are going through it? Because Swati has written and Syed is executing it, so he might not have a good knowledge on the application, so he's clearly following what is there in the instructions here. Okay, click on sign in, click on sign in. Okay, then what has happened? Enter the correct answer for the question as per the bullet points. Yeah, for security validate question. Which is your country? Which is your country is the question. For which is your country, the answer is what? India. Okay, India. So I have to write India. Oh, India. Okay, and then click on validate. I forgot to, click on validate. Okay, I forgot to write down that step as well. Okay, click on validate. Now you have seen that click on validate step is also there. You click on validate, then yeah, the home page is displayed. Okay, yeah. Then what should happen? The expected values home page is displayed. Yes, the home page is displayed. Now what is the actual value? Yeah, what is the actual value? Yeah, admin page slash home page is displayed. Wonderful, wonderful. So this is what you will, this value, actual value will be filled while you're executing it. While you have written the test case, only expected value is filled, but while executing the test case, actual value is filled. Now what is the result, guys? Is this a pass or a fail? This test case is a pass or a fail? I
Pass,
want to
sir.
hear
Pass,
from
sir.
all of you.
Pass.
Pass,
Everybody.
pass.
Pass, super, pass. Okay, so I'll come back to that. Okay, you see, test execution is done. Result analysis. Okay, result analysis. What is there? What is the result analysis? Yes, pass. Okay, so that's what you do as a part of result analysis. Okay, pass up result analysis. So now both the things are done. Execution is done and result analysis is done. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, now the next one is bug tracking, guys. Bug tracking. Okay, I'll come to the bug tracking shortly. Okay, but before that, there are some questions which are being asked. Let me take the questions from Swati Achanta. Okay, so where test cases written while doing the project? Again, it depends, Swati. When I was doing, okay, some companies, small companies who cannot spend more money, I've written the test cases in the Excel sheet itself. In some companies where there are multiple testers and all that, we were writing the test cases in the ALM. Okay, there is some software called ALM. Okay, there is a software called ALM. Okay, that's where we were writing the test cases. Hang on, I lost it. Okay. Okay, so we were writing the test cases in ALM and update the results also in ALM. We do the test execution, update the result, and also do the result analysis in the ALM as well. Okay, that's what we have to do. But Swati, take this as an assignment for everybody. What all the tools which are available in the market where we can write the test cases. Okay, so I want you to I want you to figure out that. Okay, all
Sir,
of you.
one
Okay.
popular tool is Jira.
Jira also, I heard these days everybody is using Jira, but I haven't used it. So, let me see if it is there. Hang on. Jira, Wikipedia. Okay. So I know it is used for bug tracking definitely, but can we write the test cases inside it? I need to check that. Okay. Hang on. Issue tracking and project management. Issue tracking means bug tracking. Project management means definitely you should be able to
सर
write the
वन
test
वन
cases.
प्लगइन एक प्लगइन इसमें इंसर्ट करना होता है देन पर बग ट्रैकिंग होता है ये
Jira, kya?
या सर
Okay. Can we write the test cases in Jira?
नो सर या सर एंड इंस्टॉल वन प्लगइन देन राइट आवर टेस्ट केस इन जीरा सॉरी
Test case management as well. You see, use cases can be written in Jira. Obviously, use cases needs to be written from the requirements. In the class, you have seen it, and test cases can also be written over here. Wonderful. Okay, so this is more like an ALM tool itself, guys. Okay, pretty much like an ALM tool. Okay, so we can use Jira for test cases as well. Okay, so somebody has asked Swati. So yes, test cases can also be written using Jira. Okay, but unfortunately, I haven't used it because last 10 years I was doing performance testing itself. So very rarely we get into the manual testing. So at the starting of my career, I have used ALM. Okay, I have worked as a manual tester for 2 to 3 years, maybe 5 years, but I have used ALM itself. Okay, so you see this particular screenshot is from the ALM itself, and this is writing test cases. Okay, so maybe it can be used, but tomorrow I'll get back to you. But yeah, I want you to do the research and get back to me. Okay, what all the tools that you can use for writing the test cases. Okay, I'll give you that as an assignment. And when we discuss Jira, I'm planning to cover Jira in the class as well. Okay, that's when we will go deep dive and look into what we can do. Okay, look into what we can do. Wonderful. Okay, now bug tracking. So I'll take a lot of time over here, guys. This is very, 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 very important. Okay, this is extremely important, bug tracking. Okay, bug tracking. So far everybody understood everything, guys. All of you, everybody understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
यस सर
wonderful. Okay, let's start the bug tracking. But before bug tracking, let's take 10 minutes break, guys. What do you say?
Okay, sir.
Let's take 10 minutes break.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so expect the
Yes, sir.
class today till go till 8 o'clock, as I've told you. One more hour, so I cannot keep going for one more hour without a break. So let's take a 10 minutes break. Don't go anywhere, guys, all of you. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
okay, Radhika Reddy has already come out with all the test case management tools. Okay, wonderful, Radhika Reddy, superb. Okay, so I'm so proud of you. Okay, so we'll discuss the bug tracking and bug life cycle today, guys. Very, very important. Okay, and write couple of bugs as well. Okay, so let's assume some test cases have failed, and how we can write the bugs also we can figure out. Okay, and priority and severity. I don't know if I will be able to cover all of that today, but if possible we'll cover. If not, we'll push something to tomorrow. We'll push something to tomorrow. Let's do a 10 minutes break, guys. Thank you. Bye bye. Let's go ahead, Swati. My health is okay. I know it's not bad. So we will go ahead. Okay, we'll cover for one more hour. I'm excited to teach today. So I don't have anything to do. Whole day I was I was not doing anything. So I'm in a good mood. So let's go ahead and complete this class as much as we could. Okay, and the class is also close to 20. So I'm very happy about the crowd as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and complete this class. Okay, stay tuned, guys, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'll be back. Okay, thank you. Me? Hello? Are you able to hear me? One of you,
Yes.
please.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall we get started, all of you? Syed, Izhal, Kamal, Vinupriya, Surya, Ranjan, Savita, Subramaniam, Abhishek, Ashfaq, Radhika, Jagdish, Sheikh. So let's get started, guys. All of you. I want to hear one
Yes.
from everybody. All of you. All of you. Yes,
What?
yes, yes. Okay. So let me put that in the WhatsApp message as well in case just stepped out to get the water or whatever. Okay. Hang on. Oh, sorry. Should I join? Yes. Yes. Anybody can join. Okay. Break is done. Class started. Please join. Okay. So that's it. So let's get started. Okay. So what we were doing now. Okay, so we were looking into the bug tracking. Okay, so we have executed the test case. Okay, we've looked at the result analysis as well. We have compared as a part of result analysis. What is that we have done? Wonderful, Vinupriya, you're back. Okay, so Vinupriya, question for you. As a part of result analysis, what is that we will do? As a part of execute, yeah, you take what is there in the test data, you follow the test steps, and you execute the test steps. Okay, and then you will fill up the expected value. Now, what as a part of result analysis, what do we do, guys? Vinupriya or anybody in the class? Okay, RTM, generally we do it when we are writing the test cases. Result analysis. Okay, you compare the expected value with the actual value, and you will mark the test case as a pass or a fail. Is it right, guys, all of you? As a part of a test case. Okay, so what do? You compare the expected value with the actual value, and then you will mark the test case as a pass or a fail. That's what you will do as a part of the as a part of the as a part of the result analysis. Now, if it is a pass, obviously there is no defect. Okay, if it is a pass, then obviously there is no defect. Let's say the build number is build number 1. Okay, build number 2 or whatever. Okay, build number 2 or whatever. Okay, so so if this is a pass, definitely there is no defect. Specifically, you don't write no defect, but just that I want you to understand, that's why I'm writing no defect. Okay, but you will just say not applicable, or you leave that empty, because the expected value is the actual value and the system has passed, and it has passed. Okay, for example, the same test case, the expected value and the actual value is not matching. Let's assume I know the home page was displayed, but let's assume the home page was not displayed. Error message was displayed. Error message. Okay, error message uh, is displayed. Okay, is displayed. And what is the error message? Okay, uh, uh, user credentials are incorrect. Okay, this is the error message that was displayed. Let's assume. Okay, then obviously the expected value is not the actual value. Again, this is not what we have seen, but let's just assume for our discussion purposes, let's just assume that okay, the actual value is this is what we have seen. Then definitely, if this test case, if this is the error message that is displayed, is actual value is equal to expected value, guys? Is actual value is equal to expected value, or actual value same as the expected value? I want to hear from all of you. I want energy, guys. Come on. Hi, Chandana. Welcome to the class. Okay. Is the actual value is equal to the expected value? Come on, guys. Please tell me. Are you listening? All of you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's assume this is what has happened. Is the expected value is equal to actual value, guys? No.
No,
No.
sir.
Okay.
No,
No.
sir.
Then the result is pass or a fail.
Fail, sir.
Fail. Will we have a defect? Will we have a
Yes,
defect?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Let's say the defect ID is 123. Okay. Let's say the defect ID is D123. Okay. D123. Okay. Let's go ahead and write the defect for this. Let's go ahead and write the defect for this. Okay. Let's go ahead and write the defect for this. Okay. Just like the test case has the template. Okay. The test case had the template. The defect will also have the template. Okay. The defects will have the template as well. So let's start writing the defects. So should I start writing the defect for this, or should we look at the defect life cycle, guys? Please tell me. How would you want to go at? Shall we look at the sample defect, or or should first understood the defect lifecycle and then go back and write the defect?
First defect life cycle.
Defect lifecycle. Okay, defect lifecycle. Let's look at the defect lifecycle, guys, which is very, very important. Then we come back and write this defect. Okay, I know the expected result is different from the actual result. Okay, then definitely the result is passed. Then we have a defect. This D123 we will write it, but before writing this D123, we will look at the defect lifecycle. Okay, so this one is what? These are test cases. Okay, these are test cases. And what is this? Test data, whatever this is, I don't care. Okay, this one is what? Defect lifecycle. Okay, not defect lifecycle, defects. Okay, defect repository or defect or whatever you call it, defects. Okay, yeah, these two are not important. Okay, so test cases we are writing in this field. Okay, so we got a defect. We are supposed to write the defect. Those defects we will be writing it here, but later on we will write it. First we'll look at the defect lifecycle, and then we will go ahead and write this D123. Okay, defect lifecycle. Wonderful, guys. This is very, 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 very important. I cannot stress more. Okay, about the defect lifecycle. So many interview questions you might get from here. Okay, so many interview questions you might get from here. Okay, watch carefully. First we will have the requirements. Everybody knows this, I need not have to tell you. Okay, where do I change the size of this font of this one? Am I miss something here? How can I increase the font? Okay, anyways, the requirements. First you will write the requirements. Okay, so first you will write the requirements. Okay, so guys, first you will write the requirements. Okay, that's what happens generally. Okay, then okay, then you develop it. Yeah, you do the HLD, LLD and all that, you do the coding and all that, but I'm not going into it. On the high level, I'm covering this. Okay, so you do the development. Okay, or you do the coding. Yes, there are the analysis stages there. Okay, uh, development spelling is correct, guys. Development E should not be there. Okay, yeah, there is analysis phase, there is HLD, there is LLD, and then there is a coding, but eventually the application is developed. Eventually the application is developed. Okay, then you have the final application, right? Application is developed. So after the development or after the coding part, then you have the final application in your hand. Final application in your hand. Okay, wonderful. You have the final application in your hand. Superb. Okay, now watch carefully. Once you have the application, then the system testing starts, right? Then the actual system testing starts. Okay, I'm going little fast here because all of you know this. Okay, all of you know this, so that's why I'm going little fast. Okay, so far everybody, so far you're in sync with this, right? Everybody know, I mean, so far this is understood, right? I'm just asking you, are you clear so far? This,
Yes, sir.
from last 25 days we have been discussing about this, right? So obviously you
Sir.
should be knowing all this 100%. Okay, so yeah, oh, so superb. Okay, so yeah, so now watch carefully, guys. This is where it is important. Okay, so testing is done. Okay, the application, when the first time the application is given to the testing team, it is build one. Generally it is build one. Okay, build one. Okay, build one. Okay, build one. Superb. Okay, build one. Okay, now the testing team will do, it will start executing the test cases. Okay, and somewhere they might find a defect. Okay, I need a triangle shaped one, guys. This is the one. Okay, so you see, okay, you see what is happening. Watch carefully, guys. Watch carefully. Okay, okay, so they are doing the testing and somewhere they found the defect. Okay, they found the defect. So if you're not speaking, please mute yourself, guys. If you're speaking, more than happy. I really want people to speak. Okay, so they are doing the testing. Okay, they are doing the testing. Okay, the testing team is doing the testing. Okay, the testing team is doing the testing, and then let's say okay, okay, is defect. Okay, is defect. Okay, is defect. Okay, so did you find the defect? Okay, okay, if defect. Okay, if defect, sorry, not is defect, if defect. Okay, if they're able to find the defect. Okay, if the answer is hang on. Okay, if the answer is no. Okay, if the answer is no, there is no defect, there is no defect. So what will you do? You go to the next test case, you execute the next test case. Okay, you execute the next test case. Okay, you execute the next test case. Okay, execute the next test case, right? Do you agree with me or not, guys? All of you, I'm asking you, do you agree with me or not? Okay, I'm just asking you. Okay, yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Okay, so you go ahead and then as a part of the testing, you first execute the first test case. Okay, you got the build one. In the build one, you started executing the test case. The first test case you execute. If you happen to find the defect, no, then you go to the move to the next test case. Okay, move to the next test case. Yes, you happen to find a defect. Yes, you happen to find a defect. Okay, what will you do, guys, if you happen to find a defect? Okay, what will you do if you happen to find the defect? Yes, yes, what you will do? Okay, there is a status. There is something called status. Okay, for the defect. Okay, again, I'm telling you. Okay, this is one thing I should have told you before starting the topic, the bug tracking topic. Okay, the fifth one is the bug tracking topic. Okay, let me go back and write down this bug tracking topic. Okay, this fifth one, right? Fifth one is the bug tracking topic. Okay, when we raise a bug, okay, there is a there the- there there is a field called status. Okay, when we raise a defect. Okay, when we open a defect, when we raise a defect, there is a field called status. Or when I said field, test case has how many fields? Test case has how many fields? Okay, test case has how many fields? Yeah, you have multiple fields. Okay, what are the fields? Test case ID is one field, requirement is one field, author is one field, test case type is one field, prerequisite is one field, test case description is one field, test data is one field. Like this, for defects also there are several fields. One of the field is status. Okay, one of the field is status, and the status, as soon as if you find the defect, the status is new. What is the status, guys? New. What is the status, guys? New. Okay, so the tester has started executing the test cases. Watch here carefully, guys. If there is no defect, he will move on to the next test case. If he happens to find the defects, yes, he will raise the defect. He will raise the defect and mark the status as new and mark the status as new. Okay, does it make sense, guys? Because it is a completely new defect. It is completely new defect. Okay, completely new defect. Mark the status as new. So far it is clear to all of you, guys. So far it is clear to all of you. Let me move to the next step. So far it is clear to all of you. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so now once the defect is raised, whom should we send it to, guys? Once the defect is raised, whom should we send it to?
To developer.
Developer.
Developer. Okay, it goes to the developer. Now this new defect is going to the developer. The new defect is going to the developer. Okay, the developer, what he should do? What is the first step the developer will do?
The
He
defect.
will check whether the defect is valid or not.
He will not start fixing the defect right away. First, he will check if this is actually a defect or not. First, he will check if it is actually a defect or not. Okay, so we should allow him. What is the big deal? Let him check. Okay, we have checked it. Okay, but let him check. Since there is some checking going on, that's why people will double check if this defect is valid or not. Once you found the defect, you recheck it again if this is a defect or not. Only then you raise the defect, because it is going to the development team and they will check. Okay, so now what they will check? Okay, is this a valid defect? Okay, is this a valid defect or not? They will check. What they will check? Is this a valid defect? Okay, or simply the tester doesn't have enough knowledge. Okay, is this a valid defect or not? Okay, is something that they will check. Okay, something, so why it is happening like this? Okay, is this a valid defect? Okay, this is something which will be checked by the development team. Okay, so there is a question mark here as well. Okay, there is a question mark here. Okay, so is this a valid defect or not? Is this a valid defect or not? Okay, so first, okay, let's assume this is not a valid defect. Let's assume this is not a valid defect. Then definitely the tester has done a bad job. The tester will get a bad name. Okay, so if it happens once, it is fine, but if it is regularly happening, then definitely the tester will get a bad name. They will say, whenever you raise the defect, the development team come and says, simply don't raise the defect, use some knowledge, use some brains, please raise the defects which are valid. Okay, so that's why the testing team will always double check, before sending it to the development team. Okay, so if the defect is not valid, okay, if the defect is not a proper defect, okay, if the defect is not a proper defect, okay, then what will happen? The status of the defect is new. It went to the development team. It has tested. The development team has tested it, and they are checking whether it is a valid defect or not. They found that it is not a valid defect. What it should do, guys? Tell me, all of you. Swati has already replied back. I want more ideas. Okay, I want more ideas.
You should reject the defect.
Okay, you can either recheck the defect, or what we can do. Come on, tell me, guys. Okay, so I'll tell you, the first thing that the developer can do is reject. Okay, reject the defect. Okay, so first thing the developer will do is reject the defect. Hang on, guys. I don't have enough space. Let me draw the bigger pictures. Okay, okay, the first thing the developer will do is he will reject the defect. He can reject the defect. Okay, he can reject the defect. Obviously they say that, yeah, this is a bad defect, or he can say that it's as per the design, as per design. Okay, so this is what the design, as per the design, this is how the design is, and as per the design only we have created it. Okay, something like, the font has to be 12 or 14 or something like that. Then they can say, okay, this is as per the design. Your understanding is, your understanding is not right. They can say that, or one of the three, not all the three, guys. They can reject it, or they can say it is as per the defect, or they can hold it because they are also confused. Okay, they also need some information. Okay, so you can put the defect on hold, because the tester is also saying that yes, this is a defect. The developer saying that no, this is not the defect. Then they can keep it on a hold until they get more information on that, until they can get more information on that. So these are the three possible things could happen to the defect. And now the defect which is in the new will either be rejected, okay, which means that the defect life cycle ends over there, or it can say as per the design, the defect life cycle ends there, or they can just simply hold it, and later on they can either reject it, or they can move forward. Okay, are we clear, guys? All of you, are we clear, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, one of the three things will happen. One is reject, one is as per design, one is hold. Okay, now the developer has tested the defect, and let's assume a case where they think that it is a defect. Okay, the developer thinks that it is a defect. Okay, the developer thinks that it is a defect. Then what will happen? Guys? They will move the defect from new to open. This is when the status of the defect becomes from new to open. Okay, earlier when the tester has opened it, it is new. When the developer has accepted the defect, it becomes open. Okay, so let's say that the developer has accepted the defect. Yes. Okay, then it becomes open. Okay, so you can open that defect sheet, and you can look at the status. If it is open, which means that the developer has accepted the defect and he's working on the defect. What does it mean, guys? Okay, you have opened the defect, and you looked at the status. It is open. Okay, then what does it mean? Yeah, the developer has accepted the defect, and he's working on the defect. Okay, so he might take 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, 4 days, depending on the complexity of the defect. After 1 day, let's say he has taken 1 day to fix the defect. Okay, so he's working on the rectification, fixing, or whatever you call it. Okay, the developer has fixed the defect. Okay, fixed the defect. Okay, so he has working on the defect. Once he moved the status to open, he's working on the defect and he has fixed the defect. Okay, he has fixed the defect. Now now he will move the status to okay, we'll move the status to okay. Hang on, guys. Okay, I need some space here. Okay, so this is yes, okay. Then what happens? This defect will become open. Okay, the defect will become open. Okay, the defect will become open. Okay, now okay, what is the developer doing? He is fixing the defect. Okay, he's fixed the defect. Okay, he's fixed the defect. Okay, he has fixed the defect. Wonderful, guys. He has fixed the defect. Superb. Okay, now he has fixed the defect. After fixing the defect, now he will move the status of the defect to fixed. Okay, what he will do? He will move the status of the defect to fixed. Okay, the status which was in open stage, now it will be moved to the status. Will move to the fixed status. It will be moved to the fixed status. Okay, are we okay so far, guys? All of you, are we okay so far? All of you? Is this complex or easy to understand?
That it is easy to understand.
Easy to understand. क्या हो गया इधर? डिफेक्ट पहले डेवलपर चेक कर लेगा, उसको लग रहा है कि ये डिफेक्ट नहीं है, ये रिजेक्ट करेगा या एज पर डिजाइन मार देगा और होल्ड पे लगा देगा स्टेटस. ओके, जो भी डिफेक्ट का स्टेटस है वो न्यू था ना, अभी इन तीनों में से वो सिलेक्ट करके अप्रोप्रिएट वो कर देगा. अगर डेवलपर को डिफेक्ट लगता है, ओके, देन क्या होता है कि ये न्यू स्टेटस जो भी है, ओके, he will move it to open. अगर defect का status open हो गया, okay, so everybody in the project can open the defects and look at the status, guys. So अगर open हो गया, so everybody knows in the team that developer is working on fixing the defect. वो 1 दिन देगा, 2 दिन लेगा, 3 दिन लेगा, जो भी लेना है उसको लेगा. लेने के बाद इसको फिक्स करेगा. फिक्स करने के बाद स्टेटस फिक्स हो जाएगा. फिक्स होते ही हम टेस्टर्स क्या करेंगे? So we will be looking at the status all the time. We will be looking at the status of this defect all the time. Once it becomes open, the testers will be little happy that yes, I have opened the genuine defect. Then they will be checking it every hour. Okay, so they will be checking this defect all the time, and then as soon as they think that the defect is fixed, now the tester will be starting working on this. Nobody, trust me guys, nobody will come and tell you that the defect is fixed, you need to retest it. Okay, nobody will tell. You have to check the status of the defect all the time, and as soon as it is moved to fix now, then what you do? You retest the defect again. What you do, guys? You will retest the defect. You will go ahead and retest the defect. You will go ahead and retest the defect. Again, I'm telling you guys, nobody will come and tell you that, "Arey yaar, defect fix ho gaya." The defect is fixed. Go ahead and retest it. You have to keep track of the defect, status of the defect, and as soon as the developer move it to fixed, okay, you have to retest the defect. Okay. Before I proceed further, Vinupriya was asking the question. Vinupriya, just unmute yourself and tell me what it is. What was the question? Vinupriya, question ఏంటమ్మా? Vinupriya. Okay, so Vinupriya, are you there? Okay, let's proceed further, guys. Okay, so now the retesting is done. Okay, so retesting is done. Now retesting is done. As a part of retesting, again you will check if it is a defect or not. Okay, if it is a defect or not. If it is not, okay, if okay, so retesting is done. Retesting is done. Okay, retesting is done. So as a part of, so Vinupriya wanted me to repeat it. From where I have to repeat, Vinupriya? Please tell me. ఎక్కడి నుంచి అమ్మా రిపీట్ చేయాలి? మొత్తం లైఫ్ సైకిల్ రిపీట్ చేయాలా?
Maybe she is asking after open status, sir.
Okay. So you see, the tester has tested it, a test case. If there is no defect, yeah, move to the next case. If there is a defect, open the defect and then give the description of the defect, put the status of the defect to new. Okay, then it goes to the developer, Vinupriya. Developer will check, is this a valid defect or not? If it is not, then they can either reject the defect or move the status to as per design or keep the hold on the defect. Or if they think that the defect is a valid defect, then they move the status to open. Now everybody in the team knows that, yeah, the development team has accepted the defect. They will be fixing the defect. They will take 1 to 2 days and they move the status to fixed. This is when the testing team has to retest the defect. Nobody will come to the testing team and say that, oh, you have to retest the defect. Keep looking at the defect status. Okay, and as soon as a particular defect is moved to fixed status, you have to retest the defect. Okay, you have to retest the defect. Okay, and you're retesting the defect. Okay, you're retesting the defect. Let me change the color of these arrows now. Let me change the color of these arrows now. Okay, let me see. Okay, okay, so you're retesting the defect. Okay, you're retesting the defect. When you're retesting the defect, again there's the same question. Okay, whether the defect is fixed or not, it's the same question. Okay, again it's the same question. Okay, so is the defect fixed? Okay, is defect fixed? Okay, okay, is defect fixed? Okay, that's a question mark. If it is fixed, then what you will do, guys? If it is fixed, yes, the defect is fixed. What you will do? You will close the defect. You will close the
Close the
defect,
status.
close the defect, and the life cycle is ended, guys. Okay, and the life cycle is ended. Hang on, guys. భాగ్య అయిపోలేదు భాగ్య, నేను వస్తున్నాను, ఇంకా హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ పడుతుంది. బాయ్. Okay, so the life cycle is fixed. Okay, so the defect is fixed, the life cycle is fixed. Oh, sorry, the defect is fixed. You move the status which was in new, now it is become closed. Okay, closed or closed, they usually use the word closed. Okay, they usually use the word closed. Okay, so the defect is fixed. Now the life cycle is ended, but the defect is not fixed. You will not compromise. You will open the defect again. You move the status to open. Earlier, who moved the status to open, guys? Tester or developer? One is tester, two is developer. Earlier, the very first time you found the defect, who moved it to the open state?
Developer.
But now when you are retesting it, if the issue is not fixed, you move it to open, because the developer has already accepted the defect. So you can move it to open. So once you move it to open, again, what should happen to this? What should happen, guys? Once you move it to open, what should happen? Just it will lie there, or somebody needs to work on that?
Yes, developer need to work on that.
Okay,
Developer
so
need
it
to
will.
work.
So again, it will go back to the developer. The developer, this time around, he need not have to do a valid, is it a valid defect or not? Or if he wants to check it, we don't have a problem. Then he will fix it. Once he fix it, he will send it to us. We will retest it. If the defect is fixed, yes, close it. Otherwise, again, reopen it. Okay. So generally, people use open, or I used to reopen. There is an option called reopen. Okay. It depends on the tool, which tool you are using. So there is an option called reopen or open. So whichever is appropriate, you can do it. Okay. I used to have an option called reopen. So I used to reopen the defect. Okay. So is this defect life cycle absolutely clear to you guys, all of you? Absolutely clear to you, all of you? All the 18 people. Okay. Now I have a question. Once the developer has fixed the defect, what he will do, he will move the status of the defect to fixed. So he will come and tell you, the testing team, that I have fixed the defect. One is yes, two is no. He will come and whisper in your eyes or ears, or come announce it to the whole testing team saying that the defect is fixed. No. It is the responsibility of the tester to look at the status of the defects every day, and as soon as something is moved to fixed, you are supposed to retest it. And defect is fixed, close it, or you need to reopen it. Okay. And one more thing. Okay, once the defect is fixed, the code is changed or not. Okay, the very first time the development is done, application is done, and the testing team was given the code, or it deployed. in the testing environment. The application is deployed in the testing environment. The build was 1. But now, once they have opened it, fixed it, the code is changed. Yes or no? The code is changed.
Yes.
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 Okay. The build number will still say same. The build number will be same.
Yes.
The build number will be same. Okay. Earlier the build number was 1. Now the code is changed. Build number will change or it will be same. Whenever there is a code change, the build number will be changed. Okay. The build number will be changed. As simple as that, guys. Okay. That happens in your life as well. Okay. You're saving a document. Let's say you are saving a document. I have saved this document. Okay. I've saved this document. Okay. I've saved this document as bug life cycle. Bug. Okay. Life cycle. Okay. Bug life cycle. Okay. I've saved this document as bug life cycle. Now I've made the changes to this document. Okay. Let's say I've made the changes to this document. Okay. I've made the changes to this document. What I have done somehow, okay, move to the next test case. Okay. I've made a small change somewhere. Okay. Let's say instead of B12, let me call it as build 2. Okay. Build number 2. Okay. I'm calling it as build number, okay, 2. Okay. Then usually what people will do is they save it as, okay, version 1, which means that there the document has been changed. The document has been changed. Similarly, you got a code. That code was build 1. Now the developer has fixed it, which means that he has changed the code. Automatically the build number changes. Okay. Are we clear with all these guys?
Yes.
Okay. So let's complete the class today. Okay. Here, tomorrow when we come back, we'll discuss more about the defects. Okay. We will write some sample defects and we will look at the severities and priorities, and we'll try to understand more severities and priorities and different kinds of questions that might arise in the severity and priorities. Okay. And then we will close the class, and let's see if everybody is interested. I'll maybe take the Jira class. Okay. But I haven't used Jira before, I have to be honest with you. But I'm sure it is very, very simple. I've used ALM, and I've done a lot of complex work, so I should be able to figure out and teach you. Maybe I'll teach maybe 1 or 2 days, if everybody is interested. So expect the classes to go for 2 more days, with which we will be completing the manual testing classes, guys. Okay. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. Any questions? Thank you, Sayed. Thank you.
Thank you,
Any
sir.
questions? Thank you, Radhika.
Sir, I have one question.
Abhishek, please go ahead, brother.
Yeah, sir, assume that I have a blank page. Then how can I test a page? मतलब मेरे पास एक पेज है, वेब पेज, जो ब्लैंक है बिल्कुल, और मुझे वो टेस्ट करना है, तो मैं उसको कैसे टेस्ट करना स्टार्ट करूंगा?
Blank page में क्या टेस्ट करेंगे? I don't know. I mean, it could be an interview question, silly one.
Sir, because of one friend has told me this type question के उसको कैसे टेस्ट करते हैं, so I don't know, so I just
पहले तो रिक्वायरमेंट से चालू होता है अभिषेक. पहले आपको जो भी ब्लैंक पेज दिए ना, फर्स्ट आस्क देम फॉर द रिक्वायरमेंट्स. ओके. वो रिक्वायरमेंट्स क्या है? ओके. पूरा ब्लैंक रहना है. उसके हिसाब से टेस्ट केस लिख लो कि you open this URL www.ishatrainingsolutions.com and okay, and then the expected result is the whole page is blank, and you open it, check for the actual result. If whole page is blank, then the test case is passed. So probably your answer should be your testing will start with the requirements. So don't give me a blank page. Please give me the requirement to write the test case, not the pages. Okay. Because any testing happens, for any testing, the main thing is the requirement. Okay. You give me the requirement, not the page. Okay. And based on the requirement, my testing will happen. I think that's what the interviewer is expecting. Okay.
Okay.
Got it ना?
Sir.
मैं पहले से बोल रहा हूँ ना, पूरा टेस्टिंग जो भी है वो all depends on the requirements itself. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
People
Sir,
are asking the question. Yeah. Please tell me who is the next one in the line.
I'm Tulsiram.
Yeah. Tell me, Tulsiram.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు ప్రతి ప్రాజెక్ట్ కు కూడా యాజ్ ఏ యూజర్ స్టోరీ ఈ యాక్సెప్టెన్స్ క్రైటీరియా ఉంటుంది కదా, అదేనా మెయిన్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్, లేదా అదే కాకుండా ఏదైనా వేరే రిక్వైర్మెంట్ వేరే ఉంటుందా సార్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ డాక్యుమెంట్?
జనరల్ గా యూజర్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ యూజర్ అక్కడి నుంచే స్టార్ట్ అవుతారు, మా యూజర్ స్టోరీస్ నుంచే స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. నీ టెస్టింగ్ ఏదైతుందో ఆ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఏదైతుందో ఆ యూజర్ స్టోరీస్ లో ఉంటుంది. సో యూ టేక్ ద యూజర్ స్టోరీస్ అండ్ ఫ్రమ్ యూజర్ స్టోరీస్ యూ స్టార్ట్ రైటింగ్ ద టెస్ట్ cases. Every project will have a user story. Okay, so in the user stories some of the main requirements are not there, only special requirements are mentioned. Then you go back to the you go back to the actual requirements, the functional requirements, and then get the requirements from there. And the special requirements you will get it from the user stories, the flow you will get it from the user stories. Okay, and then you can start writing the test cases. Okay, different companies have different templates, Amma. In the class I have explained that we have a requirements, I have given the requirements and then the user stories as well. Using both the requirements and user stories we have written the test cases in the class. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
that's how
And
I have done in the
what is the
class.
release planning, sir? Normally after every sprints or every sprint there is a release, or for some particular sprints they are planning?
So I've covered this as a part of our sprint agile. It depends on the product owner. Okay, he will decide whether is there enough code or enough products so that I can release it. So it could be 3 to 4 sprints. He can decide after 3 sprints or 4 sprints. He can decide whether he wants to release it, or after 1 sprint he wants to release it, or after 10 sprints he wants to release it. It totally depends on the product owner. Okay, we don't decide. Okay, so it is up to them, so we really don't care. For each sprint we go ahead and do the testing and give it to them. The release is not in our hand and we don't take the call on that. Okay.
Okay, tomorrow bug tracking tool is ALM or Jira for explaining.
uh, Again I'm telling you, I might not. Okay, totally depends upon uh, people's interest. First I will complete the complete things about defects, then if everybody is interested and people want to come, then I'll start Jira and explain maybe 1 or 2 days. Okay.
Okay, okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. So next question, Jaydeep. Jaydeep, are you there, Amma? Jaydeep, are you still there in the class? I see that you have
Yes,
posted
sir.
a question.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes,
What
sir.
was the question?
Difference I'm asking, not definition, sir. Testing
What
point of
is
view.
QA is quality analyst. QC is quality center. Is that what you're talking about? What do you mean by QC? You're talking about quality center
No,
or
no, no.
something else? Quality control?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Quality
QA.
control.
Okay, the quality control is the process, quality analyst is the person. Okay, so from my understanding, okay, I don't know I can go back and check online to see what it is, but these are two different things. There is not much to compare. Quality control is the process, okay, where you will be controlling the things, and QA is the person who actually does the quality control. This is what my understanding, Amma. Okay, but I could be totally wrong. I'll come back and check and come back again. Okay, so these kind of some interview questions are very tricky. Okay, so but on the high level, from what I've seen from the projects, QC is the quality control, where it is the process as to how to do the quality control, and QA is the person, quality analyst is the person who actually do it. Quality analysis is what you're saying, then that is a tricky question. Quality analysis and quality control, I'll come back, I'll check and come back with that answer, brother. But it's a good question, but looks like it's an interview question. Okay, not that you're expected to know of that. Okay, but again, in the real project, but again from interview point of view you might have to. I'll check and come back, Amma. Okay, tomorrow I'll come back
Okay.
with that, please remind me. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody, any more questions? Okay, Syed has already answered it, and moreover, kind of like kind of like what I have told, but opposite way. Jaydeep looks like quality assurance QA is the process. Okay, is the process of quality. How to make sure the product is quality. That process you define, right? So that is the quality assurance, and quality control is the inspection part. Okay, so you have the people who will be inspecting on the regular basis as to if this is happening or not, if the process is being followed or not. So that is the quality control. That's what Syed says. So quality assurance is the process, quality control is the inspection, just to check if that process is being followed or not. ఓకే సో జయదీప్ ఇఫ్ యూఆర్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ తెలుగు నేను చెప్పేది ఏంటమ్మంటే క్వాలిటీ అష్యూరెన్స్ అంటే ప్రాసెస్ ఓకే ఎలా ఏ స్టెప్ ఫాలో కావాలి ఫస్ట్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్స్ తీసుకోవాలి దాని తర్వాత అనాలిసిస్ చేయాలి దాని తర్వాత హై లెవెల్ డిజైన్ లో లెవెల్ డిజైన్ దాని తర్వాత కోడింగ్ చేయాలి దాని తర్వాత టెస్టింగ్ చేయాలి ఇది ప్రాసెస్ అనేది డిజైన్ చేస్తావు చూడు అది క్వాలిటీ అష్యూరెన్స్ క్వాలిటీ కంట్రోల్ అంటే ఇన్స్పెక్టర్స్ వచ్చేసి చెక్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు ఎస్ నీకేంటి కోడింగ్ అయిపోగానే ఒక డాక్యుమెంట్ ఉండాలి ఆ డాక్యుమెంట్ ఉందా లేదా టెస్టింగ్ అయిపోగానే టెస్ట్ ప్లాన్ డాక్యుమెంట్ ఉంది అయిపోయిందా లేదా టెస్టింగ్ ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేసావు టెస్ట్ కేసెస్ ఎప్పుడు రైట్ చేసావు ఓకే సో ఇదంతా వచ్చి ఇన్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తారు చూడు ఆ ప్రాసెస్ కరెక్ట్ గా ఫాలో అవుతున్నావా లేదా అది క్వాలిటీ కంట్రోల్ okay this is what Syed has told but again I will double check and come back to you okay Jadip did you understood
sir.
whatever I said
Yes.
but again I'll have to
Yes.
confirm that because I've told you based on what Syed has told okay Syed has put down
Okay.
okay but again I have to double check and come back any other questions guys